Hey, it's your girl Janique, and I'm coming back to you today with another video. I'm out of breath. I've been walking around trying to get my steps in, and it just dawned on me something that I wanted to talk about. Forgive me if I'm out of breath. I've been walking for a while, almost, I think 45 minutes to an hour, trying to get my body tight and right. I'm happy with my weight. Let me just say that. I love me and who I am right now today, because man looks at the outer appearance, but God looks at the heart. And so I know who I am on the inside. But excuse me, it's something that I wanted to talk to you today about. What I noticed about what I have noticed, let me say that, about individuals who have like strong narcissistic traits. Now, even though these people were never diagnosed, I have, hi, how are you? Relationships, in the past with these individuals, and I just see how they operate, and I'm just looking, since they like to study us, I'm taking a observation or a synopsis. Is that how you say it? I don't care. I'm trying to say it. You know what I'm talking about. So I've looked at some things. Well, one thing in particular that stood out to me is that people who have narcissistic traits or may be a narcissist is when they have 4 different baby mamas or baby daddies. Now, I am talking about what I'm talking about. Things that I have seen with my own eyes. Now, nothing nobody has told me. They have multiple children's mothers or children's fathers, at least 4. And I don't care if they marry the 4th child's mother or father. 9 times out of 10, they do not want to change their behavior. Now, I'm not throwing stones at nobody, but let me take the butt out. Let me take the butt out. Okay, this is what I've seen. So they have at least 4 different children's mothers or fathers, okay? Again, even if they have married the last child's, mother or father. Some of these people are very materialistic, some of them are not. But what I've noticed is a lot of times they attach themselves to people who are doing very well in life, and they want to try to make it seem like the last few people that they dealt with, that it was something wrong with them. Now, it is definitely something wrong with the person who has 4 different children's, opposite mother or father, because they don't want to sit down and work on themselves. They always have to be in a relationship. And even if they took some time out from the last person that they was with, don't mean they wasn't on dating sites. Don't think that they wasn't dating still, because they were. They never take time out to understand themselves and to see what it is, that's missing on the inside of them. What is that? Hold on, I gotta catch my breath. Hold on. And then the sun is all messing me up. So they never take the time out to sit down and say, you know what? I have a deficiency that's on the inside of me. Something is missing on the inside of me. Let me figure out what's going on with me, instead of looking at everybody else on the outside and comparing myself, to the next person. And they think a lot of times that they're better than other people because they have all these material possessions. But deep down inside, they're empty because they're missing Jesus. They don't have a relationship with God. A lot of them like to drink. A lot of them like to smoke. And again, it's nothing wrong with these people. I'm not trying to throw stones, but it's just an observation that I have made, because I'm not a serial dater. And we all know that I used to practice or used to participate in casual sex. I'm not ashamed of that. God has delivered me from that lifestyle. And in one of the videos that I'll do later on, I'll tell you the steps and how God allowed me to walk out of that lifestyle. But I'm saying all that to say is they never take time out and to sit with themselves. They always have to be up under a man, or they always have to be up under a woman to feel like they're valued, you know. And I've been there before, and I felt empty, you know, before. And that was because I was trying to replace God with a partner. But now that I know who I am, you know, I've been sitting down, you know, working on myself. I've been to therapy, been in therapy for like, I believe it was 3 years I did therapy, but I ended up, you know, stopped doing therapy. And when I stopped doing it, you know, that's when I had my slip up, you know, during the summer of 2024. Again, I'm not ashamed. I know that, you know, I'm not a perfect, and I wasn't always a mature. I like to say that it is not because you're perfect, it's because you're maturing, you know, to become better and to become self-aware and self-improving. Is a certain things that you stop doing and stop having a desire for. And so I'm saying all this to say is that, excuse me, when you sit down and you work on yourself, it's just certain things that you used to desire, you no longer have a desire for. And I've never been the type of person to really care about what people think. Hi. But, you know, I think to a certain degree, we all care a little bit about what someone may think about us. But at the end of the day, that's not our business, you know. I only care right now, what does God think? You know, who does he say I am? You know, I'm the apple of his eye. He told me that I am fearfully and wonderfully made. You know, he told me I'm a peculiar person. He told me that I am holy because he's holy, you know. So the more I spend time with myself and learning myself, you know, I sat back and I was like, you know what does all these people, you know, have in common? You know, I've noticed there has been jealous of me, you know, and I know some things is because some people tolerate things that I don't accept, you know, especially in a partner. You know, I do have certain standards. I have had certain standards, even though when I was out in the world doing worldly things. But, you know, I always stayed in communication with the Lord. I always would get down on my knees, you know, and pray to God. I always kept my relationship with God, you know, even when I wasn't doing good, you know, or doing what I should have been doing, you know, the godly principles. Oh, I should have stopped my walk. Hold on, y'all. I don't know how to stop it. But anyways, I'm saying all that to say is, when I sit back and I look at these things, because I don't never compare myself to anyone else. Jesus is the standard. He has always been the standard for me. And this, I've also noticed something, I don't know where I heard this at or seen this at, but they said that the marriage rate is down. And to me, I look at it as being a good thing, because people need to turn their hearts back to God. People need to turn their life to the Lord Jesus Christ. I don't think anybody should be getting married without first getting their relationship right with the Lord. That's how I see it. Because at the end of the day, we just have people out here procreating with other evildoers, which is creating more evildoers because they don't have a godly principle. They don't have godly values. So people can say, oh, evil don't exist. Evil does exist, because there is a right way and a wrong way. So I'm saying all that to say is that there are people, some people out here, I'm tired, y'all, who study other people, you know, and once you start looking at these people, and they can be in your own family, but they are so concerned about their status and how other people see them from the world's view, you know, not from God's point of view and how God see their heart. But that was something that it just dawned on me today as I was walking, like, wow, these people all had this in common. You know, it's 34 degrees out here. I'm cold, but I'm hot. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. I'm cold, but I'm hot. That's an oxymoron. But yes, I noticed that when I used to drive trucks, as I reflect and I think back and how I used to do all these nice things for myself, you know, because I never really depended on a man to do anything for me. And I don't think that's a bad thing. I mean, it's nothing wrong with depending on a man, but I choose to put my trust in the Lord, because people can change. People can start off one way and then end up being somebody completely different, because people pretend. You know, some people, not all people, they try to deceive people just to use them and see what they can get out of them. And I'm saying, when I sit back and I reflect about all the things that I used to do for myself, I used to do nice things for myself, and I still do, and I still will, and I still am. But one thing in particular, my favorite designer, I'm sure somebody gonna probably do a video about this, but I love Coach purses. You know, when I had my oldest daughter, before I had her, I was over the road traveling, driving trucks. And I remember I worked so hard. And I remember I said, you know what? I'm going to get this one load and drive all these hours just to buy myself this Coach diaper bag. Now, this Coach diaper bag was $500. But I ended up getting it at the Coach outlet. So it could have been half off. It was like $250, I think, for the purse. But it was priced at $500. But I didn't want to go to the stores where I live because I didn't want to pay the $500. So I went to the outlet mall and I spent $250, I think it was. But I also bought myself some other things. And because I was already so used to doing nice things for myself, I remember this one girl trying to make me jealous or make me feel some type of way. I don't know what was her reason for telling me this, that somebody had bought her a Coach purse. I really didn't care. And I really didn't care how much I really didn't care how much the purse cost, because let me say this the right way. Back then, my mindset, this is not my mindset right now. Back then, my mindset was, I don't care. I can do those things for myself. I'm not looking for a man to do these type of things for me, because I'm not a woman who could be bought. That was my mindset, you know, because I feel like at the end of the day, I'm already doing this for myself. You know, I mean, it would be nice if a man would do that for me. I'm not saying that it wouldn't be. Hold on. But all I'm saying is, my head wasn't all up in the clouds like, oh, he did this for me. Who cares? At the end of the day, I'm going to do those things for myself. If a man wants to do something, okay, then he'll do it. If not, then fine. Who cares? But at the end of the day, I just see how some women, they truly can be bought by a man. You know, they're not used to doing things for themselves. So they think the littlest thing that a man may do for them is something big and extravagant. And so at the end of the day, they just be all, oh my goodness, I can't believe he did this so nice. Look at what he did for me. And they got to broadcast it. I'm not flashy like that. I mean, if somebody do something nice for me, again, okay, I don't need the whole world to know that. But at the end of the day, again, it would be nice if a man that you're dealing with will do that for you, but they don't have to do that. I don't expect and I don't feel entitled for a man to have to do something for me. But I know this is not every woman's mindset. But back to what I was talking about. I don't even know how I got there. Sometimes I just be talking, I see. But yeah. Oh, I know where I was getting at. So, like I said, I was buying all these nice material things for myself. And I noticed that, some men that I would be talking to or dealing with, one in particular, was getting mad that I was spending money on myself. Like, I don't understand that. Men today, I'm confused by the men today. Some men, not all men. Because some men say they want an independent woman that got her own, doing her own thing. I had all those things. And the men, they were mad and jealous. But I didn't know what I know right now today. What I know right now today is I do believe that women need men. Let me just throw that out there. Men are needed by women. That wasn't my mindset when I was younger, because I was single. First of all, I can understand, like, if you're married and you have children with someone, then a man would want to feel needed. But it's just so confusing to me, because some men, not all men, they don't want you to be dependent on them, but they want you to be dependent on them. I don't get that. Like, with everything that's going on right now in the world, things that we've seen on social media and on different platforms like YouTube, how some people want to try to control people financially, and it just doesn't make sense. When you don't value someone, why you would want to try to control someone? So I don't understand that. And then they body shame people, telling them that they look a certain way. This is why it's so important to know who you are. Because if a person coming to you telling you that you fat, okay, and be happy with who you are. Because somebody that's happy with who they are, they're not trying to tear somebody else down. They're not trying to, make somebody feel low. And the older that you get, well, not everybody. Let me just rephrase that. I was just gonna say, the older you get, the wiser you become. That's not true for a lot of people. That's not true for a lot of people. Sometimes people can become older and not retain no wisdom at all through anything that they've gone through in life, and they can't even give you no type of tools that will benefit you in the near future. So I'm just saying, these are some of the things that I have discovered when dealing with people who I believe who have narcissistic traits. They do try to tear you down emotionally, financially, spiritually, mentally, all these things, and sometimes physically. They want to try to destroy you. The Bible talks about the enemy is trying to, is prowling around like a roaring lion, seeking who he may devour. The enemy wants to kill, steal, and destroy. This is why you got to know who you are. It's so important to know who you are and to have a renewed mind and to spend time with the Lord. Because when you know who you are and you value yourself and you love yourself, nobody can tell you anything, different. You're going to believe what God says. What does the Lord say about me? I remember when I had my youngest daughter almost 6 years ago. She's about to be 6. And I remember the doctors telling me, well, if you want to have another baby, you cannot have it vaginally. You're going to have another C-section. And I thought about that and I said, Lord, that ain't what you said. You said I could do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me. So if the Lord wants me to have a baby naturally, guess what's going to happen? I'm going to have that baby naturally. But I'm not having any more kids until I say I do. And I'm married, not even having sex until I'm married. I slipped up too many times, but I've practiced self-forgiveness, self-awareness, self-improvement. My past is my past. I have forgiven everyone who has done anything that was wrong to me. And moving forward, I release everybody who has wronged me, cast all of my cares unto the Lord, and walk in forgiveness and giving people grace. They might not deserve it, but the Lord told me that I must forgive in order for me to be forgiven. And I already know I'm going to heaven when I leave here, from this earth, this place. I already know this ain't the final destination for me. But yeah, this is something that I noticed, and it might be because of low self-worth, low self-value of why certain people have to attach themselves to other people to feel great or to feel like they accomplished something by getting married. This is why I don't believe everybody should be married, because people don't even know who they are and they're getting married, and then people end up getting divorced because people have not discovered who they are. They don't even know who they are, so they accept anything. So just because somebody think they found a person, well, you don't know this person was drugging you all these years. You don't know this person was manipulating you all these years. You know why? Because of sin. And we all have a sin problem. So this is why you must repent daily. The Bible talks about in Luke 9:23, if any man wishes to come after me, he must first deny himself daily and take up his cross. Spend time with God. Get to know God so you can get to know yourself, and certain things, that people allow. They don't even have, certain people don't have not only just standards, standards, values, but deal breakers, things that you're not going to allow. Certain things should be a deal breaker, like cheating. I don't think that's something that is okay with somebody that's cheating on you. That's just my perspective. Some people, it's their choice to, say to death do us part, But I just know for me and myself, that's not something that I would be able to tolerate. Or just knowing that this person is manipulating me or deceiving me. People know who they marry. Because some people will be like, who the F did I marry? Or who the heck did I marry? People know exactly who it is that they marry. They just choose to look past their faults and their flaws. But they still get married to this person and wonder why they're not happy, and they still end up getting a divorce because they decide, you know what, I can deal with it, I can tolerate it, I can handle it. People get married to men knowing that they are already sleeping with other women, and then they get so mad after they married the person because they thought the person was going to stop. they thought that they could handle it. Some women will say, you know what, I can handle the cheating. Go ahead, do whatever you want to do. Long as you're married to me, long as you coming home to me. But then when they get the wilding out and staying out, not coming in the house till like 5 or 6 o'clock in the morning, then they looking crazy. They looking like the life has been sucked up out of them because of what they allowed. That's why it's important to have standards, you know, and deal breakers. You know, it's just certain things that you should not tolerate or accept, you know, but this person got to know this from jump. You know what? I can't do this. Oh, this person gonna leave me. But some people are desperate, and I've been there before, you know, wanting somebody so bad that you just allow and accept anything. That's when you gotta put your big girl underwears on and say, you know what? I've accepted less than I deserved. You know what? Let me work on me. Let me get to know me. Because I know I'm better than this. I know I'm a good woman. And I know somebody out there will appreciate me and love me for who I am, you know. And people are always ready to say, oh, what you bring to the table? I bring trust. I bring respect. I bring love. I bring compromise. I bring healing. I bring communication. I bring loyalty. I bring value. I bring respect. I bring all of these things, you know. Those are the things that you should love about a person when you look at in the inside of a person and what you see. You know, if you don't see these type of things, in a person, then you need to question, is this person really the person that you need to be with? If this not the person that you need to have in your life? You know, if somebody can't show you mutual respect, you know, if somebody's not being a man or a woman of their word, you know, someone who's dependable, you know, sometimes women are worried sometimes women are worried about the wrong things. You worrying about if he gonna fly you out, if he gonna buy material things for you. These things will leave you empty. You know, these things will leave you empty. You know, oh, because they bought you a bag. Oh, because he bought you a car. Oh, because he did that, this, that, and the third, but he not respecting you. So you gotta know who you are. Because again, when you know who you are, just certain things that you're not gonna accept and tolerate, you know, in a relationship, whether you're married or not married. You know, it's just certain things that are unacceptable. But you gotta know what your standards are and who you are, and that you know that you are special in the sight of the Lord, and that you are loved by God. So, and if a person doesn't value you, you'll know. Oh, you'll know. I hate that it took me all these years to figure this out, but I finally got it. People think because they go on trips and vacations and all these things, they do all these things with a person, that's counting for something. But at the end of the day, you still feel lost. You still feel empty because you don't have Jesus. That's why you feel empty. Another thing I noticed too, now I know some people probably watch my channel that might start switching things up. This is another thing that just came to my remembrance about someone with a narcissistic trait. A lot of them like to hide who they are. So they'll wear sunglasses to hide their eyes, you know, so you can't look a person in their eye. See, me, I like to look at people in their eye. I like for you to look at me in my eyes to see who I am. Because when you can look into a person's eyes, the eyes are the windows into the soul. That's what the Bible says, I believe, if I'm correct. So, tired. But my battery is getting ready to die. But I'm saying all that to say is you have to be careful, because people pretend very, very well. And what I've learned to do, and I'm still learning, is to watch people. Tupac said this years ago. And I think I even got this on my Instagram. You got to watch people, because they gonna show you that they fake and they phony. But like Kevin Gates, I almost said Kevin Samuels. Kevin Gates had said this one time, is that energy don't lie, and energy doesn't lie. And another thing, I'm going to tell you who channel that I really watched, and I really love this guy. Maybe I should say like. But I have been watching him for years and years and years. And I'm going to give a shout out to his channel. Hopefully y'all watched my channel so y'all can go to his channel. But I've learned so much from Delexis. Mindful Attraction, I believe, is his channel name. And I've learned so much through him and through his teaching. And I'm not saying that he is perfect, but he is a mature person that I respect. And by me saying that, why I'm saying that is because he has helped me to not be manipulated. You know, he has taught me things for good. I didn't use it for no evil purposes. You know, the knowledge that he shared, you know, over the years has helped me to grow, you know. So go over and check out Mindful Attraction, Delexis. He got dreads, but I think he started cutting them. But again, this sun, y'all. I'm saying all this to say is you have to definitely know who you are, so you do not be manipulated. Know what you stand for. Know what you're gonna tolerate. Know what you won't tolerate. Know what you're gonna accept. Know what you're not gonna accept. Spend time, read Proverbs, you know, because you can grow a lot from reading Proverbs. That's all I'm gonna say. You know, you just got to try to do what's right and live right. And sometimes when you live right and do right, don't mean that things won't happen to good people, because things do happen that are bad. But I believe the Lord will turn it out for your good, you know. And there will always be consequences for sin. And sometimes your consequences won't show up until years later, you know. Just know that when you do wrong, it will be exposed. It's just a matter of time of when, you know. So try to treat others right and do right by people, you know. I try my best to do right by people. I really do. And even people who I've dealt with in the past, I always try to go back and make sure I try to right my wrongs, because at the end of the day, you never know, you know, how that it may affect you going forward. I gotta get back moving again. I'm starting to feel cold, but I'm hot. The temperature, I believe, is 34 still, but they said it feels like 42, 43. But my hands feel a little cold. I probably should put my gloves back on, but sometimes it's not easy when I'm trying to do a video. But it's a beautiful day out here. The sun is shining. The birds are chirping. Oh! And it feels amazing to just live life in the presence of the Lord. You know, and the presence of the Lord is freedom. And with all that being said, I'll check you out, or check me out in the next video. And don't forget to stop over at Mindful Attraction and check out Delexis. You know, he drops some things I feel like that are gems that will help you not be deceived or manipulated. Like I said, his content has helped me, you know, of course, through prayer. You know, I pray that, you know, I was able to use the information that he has given to me over the years wisely and not to hurt anyone, but just so I don't, you know, fall victim to manipulation or deceit. You know, even with prayer, I believe that the Lord led me to his channel. And what I do is that I eat the fruit and spit out the seeds. I eat the meat and spit out the bones. You know, you don't have to take everything word for word, but take what you need so you can grow and develop and be your best self. You know, because we don't agree with everything that everyone says, but sometimes God will allow certain people to speak into your life so that you won't be deceived, so that you won't be conned, so that you won't be misled. So I'm saying all this to say is keep your head up. Things will get better. And until the next video, bye.